Good morning, YouTube. What is going on? It's your boy, Mr. Random. It's a beautiful, nice, and breezy morning here in Miami, Florida. But that's not what today's video is about, because today's video is I'm going to show you guys how you're going to have a custom cold air intake, not only for $20, but installing it in only 10 minutes. Now, the supplies you're going to need are fairly simple. If you happen to have a reciprocating saw like I do, this is going to be super easy, super quick. But there is another method. I will get a little bit more into detail with that, and that is with this here air sensor mount. Unfortunately though, the one that I bought, the hole is too small to fit the mass airflow sensor, unfortunately, which is why I'm going reciprocating saw route. However, you can, at your local AutoZone, you can buy a plastic connector like this, and literally it's as easy as just cutting a square hole right here and inserting your mass airflow sensor. Now, what we're going to be installing is this performance Spectre air filter right here, and what we will be eliminating is this entire box right here. Not only does this rob the car from power, but at the same time it doesn't let the intake contain a maximum airflow, which is what in turn is going to give us actually a little bit more horsepower. Not the whole thing, because we are keeping the stock piping, but that's what's going to make this install so easy and so cheap, because all we're using is that performance filter. But I'm going to show you guys step by step exactly how I am going to do it. I highly suggest you go the right way and get yourself one of these bad boys right here that will actually fit the Ford. But if you do have a reciprocating saw laying around, put it to use. It'll only take 10 minutes. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, now the first step is we're going to disconnect the wiring for our mass airflow sensor right here, and that is this little doohickey right here. Now, let me go around, let me see if I can get a good shot of it. Let me see. Do some recon here. Alright, so I really can't get the camera to fit under here. This tab right here, this thing, has a red tab under it. All you have to do is get a key or a flathead screwdriver and you pull it that way. It has a little red tab sticking out with a flathead screwdriver. Push it that way, and then this little connector here will just pop right out. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And there we go. We just detached the connection to our mass airflow sensor. That's a mouthful for a freaking Cuban to pronounce. Here we go. Let's just tuck that wire right over there. And once we've done that, our next step is to disconnect our actual intake box right here. It's being held down by these little latches. One latch right here and another latch right here. And then once you remove it, you're going to do that. You're going to pull out like that, because it's being held down by these little tabs right there. And then the next step is we're going to remove the upper airbox connector, which is that metal clamp right there. All it is a flathead screwdriver. You unscrew it and that piece comes right off. That is a piece that we're gonna need. Now, if your Crown Victoria is like 5,000 years old, like mine's happen to be, that little connector right there, the one that where we just removed the metal clamp and we slid it all the way to the left, it's gonna be a little bit stuck. So I'm gonna show you a little trick. What you do is just grab yourself a good old flathead screwdriver and shove it in between the grooves right here of the connector. You see? Just kind of shove it in there gently, because over the years it's built this like seal with like grime and all these other stuff that just kind of skips it, keeps it stuck there really good. So once you kind of go all the way around, it should be ready to come right off. There you go. And once it comes out, there you go. That's what it looks like. And right here, this is your mass airflow sensor, which we will be removing. Alright guys, and once you have your upper intake box removed, I will be removing the mass airflow sensor right there. As you guys can see, it does have a star-shaped pattern So you will need a star-shaped pattern attachment to remove this. Now the reason I want to remove this is because that metallic piece right there is very, very sensitive, and I'm about to cut it with a reciprocating saw, so I don't want any of the plastic particles from me cutting it to actually get and damage the mass airflow sensor, because it's going to be like almost $200 to replace that. So that is why I'm going to remove that, because this upper intake box is where I'm going to be cutting. This is the star attachment that I'm talking about right there. So that's what I'm going to be using to remove that. Guys, and once you remove your mass airflow sensor very carefully, pull it out, try not to damage it. Put this over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it in this here paper towel just to keep it safe from any particles or debris that might fall in it. Alright guys, so if you decide to go the reciprocating saw way, in real life the camera is not focusing too good, I'm sorry about that. Right after here, right after this square, there's another fine little thin square right there. That's the cutoff point for your mass airflow sensor. So what you want to do is you want to cut a little bit to the left of that. So the whole point is we're going to cut this entire section. We're going to free up this piece from this piece. That's what the reciprocating saw is going to come in handy for. What we want is just this single piece. So let me get to cutting. Alright guys, and there we have it. We have the piece de resistance that's been cut. All we got to do is pretty much just get rid of all that debris there, and then we're going to move on to our next step. Alright guys, so like I said, you're going to have to pardon the construction noise. I'm so sorry about that. The next step is we're going to remove the lower intake box, and it's really simple to remove. It's really being held down by a screw right there, a screw right there, and one more hidden screw right down here, just out of the camera. It's really easy to see. So let's go ahead and remove this bad boy. And once you've taken out all those screws, there's a duct that connects to your driver's side headlight. I'm just gonna give it a slight tug and it'll come right out. That's the duct that I'm talking about. You see it's full of leaves and all that other crap. So this part right here you no longer need. We can go ahead and toss it out or keep it for whatever reasons, you just never know. Alright guys, now the next step is we're just going to attach our mass airflow sensor right back to the pipe that we ended up cutting. There really is no wrong way to install it because you're going to see the holes, they actually line up perfectly, so you really can't install it backwards. We're just going to attach it right back to where we detached it from. It should definitely go in a lot easier now. There we go. Like a glove, man. We put our metal clamp back on and we're going to tighten that right back up. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then we'll be moving on to our next step. And for our last and final step, pardon the construction noise, we're going to remove our performance spectre cone air filter right here, and we're going to attach it to the other end of this pipe. And once you've installed your cone filter, the last thing is to put in the connector to the mass airflow sensor. Once you've done that, all that's left to do is turn on the car and listen to the sound of a sweet, sweet performance air intake. One that you made at home in under 10 minutes for just around $20, guys. Let's go ahead and crank it up and see what this thing sounds like. Like I said, there is construction going on, as you guys can see. So it might be a little hard to actually hear what the intake sounds like. I might try to drive it somewhere else just to get a better idea, but Let's give it a little rev and see what it sounds like. Alright, so we are at a better spot. Hopefully you guys can hear past the exhaust noise and everything else. Let's try to hear that sweet looking intake. Here we go. Well, I will tell you one thing, guys. There's a lot more throttle response. I don't know if it's kind of like, you know, when you do something, it's like the placebo effect or something. I don't know, but I swear it feels like there's a little bit more throttle response. It's just so much more smoother. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found it informative and entertaining. Your very own 10-minute do-it-yourself $20 cold air intake for your Crown Victoria. Either way, it's your boy, Mr. Random. I will catch you guys on the next Crown Victoria video. You better bet your ass that you will. Take it easy. You know what, man? We're going to do a little pull. We're going to do a little test and see just how well the throttle responds. I've been driving it. I was driving on my way home, and man, I just had to record this for you guys. The throttle response is so good, man. It's like, it's just instant. I'm going to do a pull here while I'm waiting for the light to turn green. The kind of air filter that it was Spectre, and it's the one that goes all the way from 3 to 4 inches. So let's see if this slow dude right here can, here we go. Oh, I thought he was gonna move out of my way. All right, it looks like he's gonna turn. Here we go, gun it. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Holy crap. There is definitely a noticeable difference. Oh my God, that was very unexpected. I was not expecting it. It was almost instantly. There was almost no delay. Holy crap, I will catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy.